The grand spires of Phulos, the capital of the Galactic Empire, towered above a city teeming with 100 alien species. The sky shimmered with the glow of floating palaces, and streets pulsed with the hum of anti-gravity transports. This was the heart of imperial power, a symbol of the unbreakable rule of the Zelvari sovereignty. It was also the place where they made a terrible mistake. In the city's central square, under the watchful eyes of thousands of alien citizens, they burned a human child alive. The boy, Alexander Grayson, was accused of being a rebel spy.
He was no spy.
He was only 10 years old. But he was human, and that was enough. The High Arbiter of the Zelvari watched impassively as the pyre was lit. The flames rose, twisting into the cold night air, while the child's screams echoed across the city. The crowd watched in eerie silence. To the Empire, this was justice. To the humans, it was a declaration of war. Because what the Empire did not know, what they could not have known, was that Alexander Grayson was the son of General Alexander Grayson, one of humanity's most ruthless warlords. And when General Grayson learned of what had been done to his son, the stars themselves would burn in his fury. Chapter 1. The message reaches Earth. Earth, High Command War Room. A single holographic transmission played before the assembled leaders of humanity's military. The footage was grainy, captured by a rebel operative in Phulos. It showed the child tied to a stake, his small face filled with terror. The alien announcer's voice was cold and formal. By decree of the Empire, this human is guilty of espionage and sedition. Let this be an example to all who oppose the will of the Emperor. Then came the fire. In the dimly lit war room, hardened generals and admirals watched in silence. Many had fought against the Zelvari before. Many had lost friends, family comrades. But this was different. The transmission ended. At the head of the table, General Alexander Grayson sat completely still. He was a man who had led 1,000 battles, who had sent fleets to die for the survival of Earth. His hair was streaked with gray, his face scarred by war. But now something in him had broken. For a long moment no one spoke. Then, in a voice so cold it could freeze the sun, he whispered, "Burn them all." Chapter 2. The Wrath of Humanity. 1 month later, the fall of Phulos. The attack came without warning. No declaration of war. No demands. No negotiations. Just fire and death. The first sign of Earth's retaliation was the arrival of the Hellstorm Fleet, the largest human war armada ever assembled. Thousands of warships dropped out of hyperspace around Phulos, their weapons already primed. The Empire had no time to react. Orbital bombardment began immediately. The great spires of Phulos, those magnificent towers of imperial pride, were reduced to rubble in hours. The city burned, its once proud streets now filled with screaming refugees. And then the Night Reapers arrived. These were humanity's most feared warriors, elite cybernetically enhanced soldiers, trained for planetary annihilation. They descended from the sky like demons, their black armor gleaming under the fires of war. No mercy. No prisoners. No survivors. General Grayson himself led the charge. His soldiers found the High Arbiter, the very creature who had ordered Elias' execution, and dragged him into the streets. Grayson did not offer a speech. There were no words to describe his fury. He simply set the Arbiter on fire, the same way they had burned his son. Across the city, the Empire's forces collapsed. The Zelvari had always considered humans weak. They thought them cowardly, fragile, insignificant. Now they learned the truth. Now they understood why you do not provoke humanity. Because when humanity goes to war, they do not stop until their enemies are ashes. Epilogue. The end of an empire. In the end, the war did not last long. With Phulos in ruins, the Empire's will was shattered. Their fleets were hunted down and destroyed. Their colonies erased from the stars. One by one, their worlds burned. Humanity did not seek conquest. They did not seek territory. They sought only vengeance. And when the last remnants of the Zelvari sovereignty surrendered, they did so in terror, whispering the name of the man who had destroyed them. General Alexander Grayson, the butcher of Phulos. Humanity had been underestimated for the last time, because the stars had learned a lesson that would never be forgotten. You do not harm a human child and live to tell the tale.